Welcome everybody. It's a sunny day here in Seattle, and I am Rose Dedan, Wild Reiki and Shamanic Healing, and this is day 2 of my daily live Facebook broadcasts, and I'm calling this one Self-Clearing with the Stone People. So before we dive in, I want to thank everybody for your incredible outpouring of support for my maiden voyage into this world of Facebook technology and my attempt to offer what I can to assist the people and the animals with Reiki Shamanic tips, inspiration, and stories during what are very challenging times for all of us. So if you were able to listen to my day 1 broadcast, you were probably watching with a stone person by your side. If you're tuning in for the first time, you're welcome to stay with us and listen to the instructions and then revisit day 1, listen to the instructions at the end, and put those steps into practice with your stone ally. So as a child, you might have known that stones were alive and made wonderful friends. You probably carried them around in your pockets. You may have slept with them. As an adult, you might have stones throughout your house, gathered from various places over the years as a souvenir or memory keeper from your travels. You may be able to tell stories of where you found a particular stone and what it means to you. We feel the pull of their ancient wisdom and yearn for something that seems so familiar but so elusive. And we adorn ourselves with a variety of stones. Think of how many necklaces or bracelets we might have. And we feel more awake and alive in their presence. The stone people are memory keepers, even in our own mythology. For example, we give diamonds when our heart is deeply engaged, and mark anniversaries with other precious and semi-precious stones. At a very deep level of being, we're remembering the time when the people and the stone people were on better speaking terms. We've lost connection. The people. The stone people are always there for us. The stone people are our elder relatives and connections to Pachamama. Scientists estimate their age at 3.7 billion years old. Just imagine how much wisdom they have to share and how strong they are. They are the bones of the earth and are honored teachers and healers in Peruvian shamanism, which is my core training in shamanism. She's not sure if her stone said yes. So that might be something that some of you are wondering. It's, it takes a little bit of reset. Remembering like when we were children. Imagination. And we think we're making it up. Actually, we're being open to creative and intuitive possibilities. So you kind of go into that playful space where you can be in your body and in your heart, and joyfully so, and you listen with your body. So if you have a group of stones in front of you and you reach towards one, you basically set intention asking, which one of you would like to help me at this stage? And as you reach towards it, become aware of how you feel. And you can compare that to how you feel as you reach towards other of the stone people. And each of us senses and perceives information and energy in different ways. So I can't tell you exactly what you're going to feel, but you have to trust that Some people call it a gut feeling. And just trust that the one that feels right is the right one. They're they're very patient, obviously. They're so many years older than any of us, even all put together. So, trust them to make the feeling apparent to you. And if you still don't feel anything, that's okay. Trust and go through the steps that we're going to go through and experience the transformation, the healing that they offer. And that can be your validation that it's the right one for you for now. So, as I said previously, in shamanism, the core belief, is that everything has a spirit. So we honor the stone people by respecting them as individuals. We have a tendency to treat them as tools currently in our modern society. I prefer to think they have skills, mad healing skills. Boy, they're really good. But each of them is an individual, has an individual personality, which is kind of beyond the scope of this particular brief training. If you want to delve more deeply into that, I do offer bones, stones, feathers, and fur, which is actually coming up soon. So we honor the stone people by respecting them, asking for their assistance, thanking them for their help. As with all our relations, feathered, furred, finned, scaled, creepy crawlies, tree people, plant people, stone people, all the beings with whom we share this world, always gratitude for the assistance and support that they offer us. So previously, when seeking a stone teacher, you should always ask the stone person if they'd like to come with you, to teach you, to assist you in your healing, and offer gratitude. You can do that by asking them, what would they like in return? And you're like, you can talk to them, I can hear them. Yes. Again, it takes that trust, that playfulness. It may be a feeling, you might hear something, it might be a tingle. There are many different ways to experience the guidance, and it may not always be the same thing every time. When I talk to animals, it's not always in words. It can be pictures, it can be feelings, it can be a knowing, it's a feeling in my body. There's many different ways to get to experience intuitive information. So what can you offer them as a thank you for their help? Some suggest offering a piece of your hair, sacred tobacco. However, my experience has been that it's appropriate to ask the stone person what they would like in return. They might like to spend some time in the sunshine, sitting on a window ledge, or perhaps out in the grass. They might like to be outside at night in the moonlight, bathing in the moonlight. When I was in Peruvian shamanic training, I'm a mesa carrier in the Caro High Andes shamanic tradition, and so I have a large number of stone people to assist me in my personal healing, as well as in offering healing support to others. And when I was in training, students were putting Hershey's Kisses in their mesa, offering incense, bells, the sounds, feeding their stone people, herbs, lots of different things. My mesa wanted no parts of any of that. All it wanted was fire. So fortunately, I jokingly say that shamanism is a license to burn, spiritually speaking. So I'm very fire oriented, and I'm fortunate to have a fireplace here. So we spent a lot of time by the fire together. And to this day, they could care less about what's considered traditional other ways to feed your stone people. They do like a little sunlight. So clearing your energy with the help of a stone person. So each of us is so much more than just a physical being. We're spiritual and we're energetic. And that goes for all our relations too. So in these challenging times, we're being bombarded by information that is overwhelming and I would say frightening to most of us. And some of that onslaught of information triggers old wounds for us, brings up scary things from childhood, feelings, of being out of control, and triggers different ways that we respond to it. Could be fear, could be anger, could be obsessive compulsive behaviors. I'm wondering at the moment if we're all going to turn into obsessive compulsive people with the very much needed guidance to wash our hands constantly. It's going to be a readjustment when we do return to whatever would be the new normal. And the stone people can help us navigate that too. So when we are overwhelmed, when we have feelings of fear and grief, anger come up, that can cause us to lose our connection to Pachamama, Mother Earth. We become ungrounded. Our spirit is not then held in our bodies the way that it should be. We have a connection to the earth through our feet, and we have a connection to the heavens up above. And when you aren't grounded, you're not fully present in the moment. And that interferes with connection within as well as our connections outside of us. Because we are connected to everything. We're all part of the web of life. So some of that fear, grief, anger, heavy feelings, whatever they might be, that we experience can create a blockage in our energy flow. And that colors our perceptions, which tends to amp up how we're feeling. So we have a harder time getting back to a state of calm and balance. And of course, all of that doesn't allow us to stay in the present moment. We start projecting into the future. And that is something that the stone people can help us with. So for this exercise to create balance, you can sit with your feet on the floor or you can stand. It might be easier to do this standing. And you can have your stone person in your hand. I have the one who volunteered yesterday. And I'd just like to say that size does not matter, okay? I did suggest having a stone, that could fit easily in your hand. Perhaps your stone is not the same size as this one. Perhaps it's smaller. Maybe it's a small piece of gravel. It doesn't matter. Stone people are strong. They're connected to the earth, each and every one of them, even the smallest grain of sand. So, call up something that has upset you recently. Something that's triggered strong emotions. I mentioned anger, fear, grief, and emotions that were difficult to get rid of, to let go of. Maybe it was a piece of news that you're still, or an experience that you're still dwelling on, that you can't stop thinking about. These are all good signs that something got stuck energetically, and the stone person can help you release that. It might have been something on the news. It could be something personal in your life. Just for this moment, choose 1, okay? And call up that feeling. Feel it. And then you're going to take your stone person and you're going to bring the stone person close to your face. And you're going to forcefully blow all of that emotion into the stone 3 times. So the stone person has just been given information. Our breath is information, it's energy, it's life. So you've now given the stone person information that it can use to track where that energy is stuck in your body and help you release it. So take the stone person. I'm going to stand up for this so you can see. Take your stone person and you're going to bring it to your belly, approximately midsection, a little bit above where your belly button might be. And you're just going to hold the stone person in your hand. And you're going to begin unwinding the energy, the stuck energy. So at first you're going to start moving the stone in a counterclockwise direction. And you're all like, okay, which direction is that? So as though you had a clock on your belly that somebody else was looking at and telling time with. So I'm going to describe it as start at 6 o'clock and move towards your left shoulder and then your right shoulder and then down to 6 o'clock and back to up to your left shoulder, to your right shoulder. And you're only just going to start that way, maybe 3 revolutions. And then you're just going to allow the stone to guide you. You don't have to keep going in counterclockwise circles. That's just to help the chakra start to unwind. And you're just going to allow the stone person to guide your hands wherever that energy might be stuck. You could find yourself going behind your head. You could be going down to your feet or your legs. You could be staying in here. You could be going up to the heart. Doesn't matter. Allow the stone person to guide your hand. So I'm just going to allow you a little time to do that. And it's good to give it time, you know, when it feels right, when it feels complete, when it feels like the stone person is taking in all of that energetic connection, stuck energy, hucha, then you can take them and gently place them, tap them on the ground lightly, not hard, and then just let them rest on its own for a few minutes. And that way it can discharge the heavy energy back to Pachamama, who will mulch it and turn it into Sami. And then say thank you to your stone person for its help and assistance. Thank you so much. So your stone person, there's a reason why I suggested that you have a smaller stone, because your stone person can be a pocket stone. That means that they can go with you throughout the day, wherever you go. Be available for whenever there is a challenge. Sometimes the hardest thing to remember is that we have an ally, a friend with us that can help. It does take a little getting used to, and you may find that if you've really gotten triggered, that's when it's hardest of all. And so it's good to maybe post a little reminder, perhaps on your bathroom mirror, someplace where you'd see it all the time. You know, remember your stone person. Remember to smudge. Daily practices that can help us through these challenging times. So, as you go throughout your day, those thought puppies that come up, the ones of, oh my God, the walls are closing in. Get out your stone person and blow out that in there and do some clearing work. You know, whatever it might be that triggers you throughout the day, anytime, they're there to help you. Clear as you go. Don't have it be like, oh, I have to set up a special time, have music on, you know, soothing music, lights, candles. That's great, but this is practical shamanism. Shamanism on the go for every moment of the day. So carry your stone person with you everywhere. Do remember to remove them when you do the laundry. One way to remember this is perhaps you can bring your stone person, you know, with you to sleep. You could tuck them under the pillow at night. They can teach you in your dreams. Sometimes that can mean that you don't get a good night's rest, so you might want to put them off to the side, you know, kind of experiment, play around with it. So throughout the day, when you struggle with emotions, blow them into the stone person as you did during this exercise, and unwind and clear the energy by tapping out gently onto the earth or the floor and letting them rest just for a couple minutes. And then remember to say thank you and give back to them. You know, find out what they like. You know, moonlight, sunlight, water, fire, flowers, incense, candles, whatever it might be. I don't know, maybe they like watching you wash the dishes. Everybody's an individual. I honestly do not know what I say this to my mesa at least once a week, if not daily. I honestly do not know how I would get through everything, not just what's currently happening. Because, you know, I work on the front lines of climate change with the animals. So I am grateful to my allies every day of my life. It's an ongoing process because we're living, changing beings, and the world is also living and changing and heavily influenced by people. So this is a way to kind of help restore our personal balance. And when we restore our personal balance, then because we're all connected, when we calm down, that connection, that energy can help spread. It's a way of bringing balance to the world. Each of us has to do our own personal work. That's where we have to start. But the side benefit of that is if we do, it helps the rest of the world as well. So, for next time, I'll be offering insights and guidance for anyone who has taken Reiki training before. And it'll be tips and guidance on how to best use what you've learned to support you right now. Practical tips. And this is for all levels of practitioners and lineages, but everybody, you don't have to be a Reiki practitioner, you're welcome to attend and learn more about the benefits and applications of daily for Reiki life. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope to see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. and we'll dive into a little Reiki energy. So, until tomorrow, may you and your stone person ally have a lovely day. Thanks, everybody.